Welcome back to Vancouver Carpenter. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to mortise out a hinge gain without using a router. So this is just with basic chisels and a knife. And I should note that this is a hollow core door, so it's the outside of it is, MDF, particle board. So it's pretty soft and easy to do. If you're doing this on a wood door, it's going to be harder. So we don't need too much for this. We need a hammer, couple of sharp chisels. I'm going to be using maybe 1 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch one. A square of some kind is nice to have. I like this one. And a sharp knife and a pencil. And of course your hinge. Got a beautiful brass hinge here. Okay, so in my last video, I leaned the doors up next to each other so that I could see what the old hinge gain was. I do that so that I can mark it directly from one door to another. A pretty standard measurement down is 9 inches from the top of the door. We're just going to make an arbitrary mark here at 18 because, we're just using this old door to demonstrate. Okay, this hinge is 3.5 inches. So let's make a little mark. 3.5. Okay, we'll give ourselves a couple of lines here. I mean, we really only need the one actually, because we're going to screw the hinge on first. You'll see what I mean. But anyways, just a guide. And then we have this other measurement right here, which is 1/4 inch. So that's pretty easy. You'll notice I'm not hooking my tape measure on. I usually just line up like one of those lines, and then I'll mark that 1/4 inch right there. So now what I can do is place the old hinge on there. I'm going to line it up with the lines. So lining it up with both those lines and with this one right here, and eyeballing it to make sure it's nice and straight. And quick little pilot hole. I usually just do one first and get this snug. So once it's snug, then now I'm eyeballing this for square. And when I can see that it's nice and straight and parallel with here, now I'm going to throw another couple of pilot holes in right here. That one moved a bit on me, a little bit annoying. I always keep an eye on it to make sure that it's staying where I want it to stay. So I'm just not even going to sink that one because these two are holding it right where I want it. And now I'm going to take out my knife. So I don't have a sharp end on there, so I'm going to get one. There we go. And now I'm going to start cutting this, and I'm only going to go to right before there. And I'm putting some good pressure on here. I want it to be a pretty decent cut in there. This one could be snugged up. I'm seeing some movement. There we go. Oh, left the screw. The bit, I mean. Okay, yeah, you definitely don't want movement when you're doing this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, notice I'm not doing the round part yet. I'm just doing the straight part. You want to be really careful to not slash too far on those. I almost did. Now I'm going to just keep making that line. Okay, now here comes the annoying part. And I gotta say in advance, it's hard to get these totally perfect, but you can get them pretty good. So I'm just really gently, like I'm not actually even pressing down right now. I'm just trying to get my outline. So it's a lot more work, in my opinion, than using one of those router jigs. And it's hard to get it looking anywhere near as good. But I can do it. I just felt the tip of the blade break again. Okay, once you have your outline, now you can take this off. So now we can start doing a little chisel work. And I'm gonna go only up until the very start of the curve. Same thing here. I'm only going about 1.5 millimeters deep. Pretty shallow. Same with right here. We can go further in a bit. If you do the whole thing all at once, you just blow apart this. You'll split it. And now I'm going to carefully start chiseling it out. Let's get a better angle here. This is all on the side of the side of it. Could look a lot better on camera here than it does right now. Okay guys, the key here is patience. Patience. So I'm just kind of carving out that little bit right here, trying not to get too close to it. I'm sort of undercutting it, but trying not, like, this part's just hard. You know, you can always go up to the edge, but if you go past the edge, you really can't redeem it. So that's the nice thing about, this is what I'm talking about, it's that hardboard, right? It's actually really easy. It's really forgiving because it just flakes out with a nice sharp blade. Okay, now that we've got that out, I'm gonna do a little more work here. And I'm only going as deep as my first chisel hits were, which is like a couple mils at most, maybe less. The key is, don't go deeper than your chisel was able to hit on those first hits when you're hitting it like that. So if it's only 1 millimeter, then only take 1 millimeter off. Basically, it's just slow and steady and patient. I'm gonna, again, this is kind of like what I do with drywall. How I like, if I need to get some relief in the cut to get a deeper cut on there, I V it out next to the line I'm trying to cut. So now there's some space there. And it helps the rest of it come out. And you know, honestly, you can even do these edges, like right here. You don't even have to get the chisel in there. You can actually just do the whole thing with your knife. So now I'm going, sorry, I don't mean the whole thing. Whoa, watch those edges. It's so painstaking. You could actually do this whole thing with a knife. I like using a chisel. Maybe it's just that kind of old school feeling. But now at this point, I can, what I was gonna say, so I almost forgot to go a little bit deeper here. So now I can go back into those original lines and I can easily get another mil or so. And again, we don't want to split this, so we're just not going super deep. Like, I can almost see it splitting there, so I stopped. And at this point, because this stuff is so soft, you don't even need a hammer. And so what we're going for is just a fairly uniformly flat. Okay, we got some stuff here. Sorry, sometimes I have to stop talking and concentrate. This part's being stubborn. I'm gonna get the knife out. Kind of have more dexterity with the knife. Maybe I could do this whole thing with the knife. I've never tried. Might even do a better job. I like the chisel though. Oh, I did it. I did it. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy talking and I took that out. Yep, I was too busy talking, and I also realized that I probably once again had my head my hair in the shot. So I'm just gonna slow down here. Yeah, probably at the end, I'm just gonna pull this out and that can be filled with wood filler. It's to be expected that there might be a little bit of imperfections here. Okay, so this is where the chisel starts coming in handy because when you rest it flat, it just wants to take off stuff in a nice flat sort of way, whereas the knife just shaves it off however it wants to. We're almost there. I want a little more work on this side. I've got too much blade out here. That's not gonna help me. Not for this part anyways. I'm kind of just digging it out here. And at any point, you can take your hinge and see how it's looking. So it's actually almost good enough there, but I have way too much on the back here that needs to come out. Almost there. And that's pretty much it right there. I just need to scrape a little more out with my knife on those edges. Well, there it is. It's painstaking, but you can do it. I'm happy with that. And I did mention that there was that little blowout there. So let's actually do something about it, hey? I don't have wood filler, which is what I would usually use, just the dried X, but honestly it would be adequate. Sand it, a couple coats of paint, look fantastic. Yep, I'm happy with that. After a couple of coats of paint, that would be 1,000,000% acceptable. Well, thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter. That is the budget, handyman way to get it done with just a few basic tools. And I can already hear the comments, yes, I know you could have done that 5 times faster than me, you magnificent creature. I'm very impressed. Don't forget to actually show us your work someday. You're not going to? I thought so. Anyways, it's time for me to get this place cleaned up so that, you know, it can be used for more important things. Thanks for watching. Till the next video.